The following is a presentation of The Day.
Talent, tenacity, and toughness. Three T's that combined with a fourth, timing, often lead to a fifth, triumph. The Fitch Falcons and St. Bernard Saints are hoping they are 5T programs. Talent is needed to reach the lofty goals of champion, and Fitch has plenty. J.J. Robinson and Xavier Good are among the best backcourts in the state, and on any night can carry the Falcons. St. Bernard is also loaded with talent, and Amir Gray and Naz Rember might want to weigh in on league's best backcourt, and when they play well together, the sky is the limit. Tenacity is Fitch's defining quality, as Calvin Sebastian and Malachi Saab lead a group of Falcons who treat every possession personal. No one is more tenacious than St. Bernard's Kurt Marshall, whose relentless pursuit of performance is impossible to ignore. Troy McKelvin Jr. is embracing this style, and the Saints are gelling. Toughness comes in a lot of forms, not the least of which is the ability to overcome adversity and injury. Fitch is going to learn how tough they are without big man Jacob Francis, and where they stand in the topsy-turvy ECC. St. Bernard has its own adversity to overcome, but they know they are tough, and they have the ring to prove it. Timing is everything, and for the Saints and the Falcons, it's all about the T's in their highly anticipated rematch. Can the Falcons hang tough, or will the Saints continue their domination of the league? We find out as the St. Bernard Saints travel to take on the Fitch Falcons, and all the action's live on Game Day on theday.com. Nearly 2 years ago, on February 25th, the Waterford High School Lancers beat the St. Bernard Saints in the ECC semifinals. 2 years and 21 wins later, St. Bernard's has yet to lose to an ECC opponent. New London came close. Waterford came close. This Fitch Falcon team came close, but none have been able to overcome the Saints. Tonight at Fitch, the Falcons, in the long-anticipated rematch, will attempt to do what no other team has done. And if they can do it, you'll see it live on Game Day. Game Day is brought to you by Waterford Dental Health. All that is good begins with a smile, and at Waterford Dental Health, your smile is our top priority. Our entire team dedicated to providing you the personalized dental care you deserve, so visit them at waterforddentalhealth.com. Casey O'Neill, along with the coach, Chris Giusti, and Coach, think about that, 21 straight AECC wins. We've had a lot of highly anticipated matchups, and it seems that the one thread is always a St. Bernard victory.
Yeah, we've reached a point now in the basketball season where we expect St. Bernard to win all their ECC games. If you track back through the history of the ECC, it happens a couple times when New London had their great roster. The span of time when Waterford had Mike Bassetto and Liam Spellman, they were expected to win. The other teams were hunting, and they were the hunted. St. Bernard clearly is in that position. They have the bullseye on their back. Fitch kind of, after sustaining an injury to one of their key players, kind of coming in here with a little bit of a nothing to lose mentality. They have a big crowd, a capacity crowd expected here. And so I think they're going to come out with a whole lot of intensity, and this is going to be a good matchup.
Well, a whole lot of intensity, none other than our sports doctor. Keith, what you got, bud?
Hey, Casey, Coach, listen, this is what it's all about. Crunch time last month in the ECC. This place is packed. Coach Charles Sylvan talked about the energy in the gym. We haven't seen it like this in a really long time. Hey, Coach and I had to get airlifted in from Noank. That's how far we parked out tonight. But look, this is it. Last month of the season. High hopes, big dreams for both of these teams. Not only ECC crown, but state championship crown. A couple of guys nicked up for each team. They're going to figure it out along the way, according to both coaches. Guys, buckle up, strap it on. And if you look in the stands around you, there's no aisleways. So once you see, you bet you're in for the night, Coach.
Well, both teams going to have to try to overcome a little bit of adversity tonight. For St. Bernard's, Amari Marshall is out. He is dealing with a personal matter. And for the Falcons of Fitch, Jacob Francis, the senior center forward, is out with a foot injury. He has a doctor's appointment coming up this week, and we'll learn more about that. But where St. Bernard's is a little better equipped to play without Amari Marshall, it really changes the dynamic of Fitch, and they've lost 2 straight by a total of 3 points. But they need to kind of figure out how they're going to play without him.
Yeah, it definitely changes how they're able to defend the rim. I mean, when they dominated New London a couple weeks ago on game day, I thought he was the X factor in that whole game plan. They were able to trap in the half court and take some chances in the half court, and New London was hesitant to drive to the hoop because Jacob was there in the middle, and he did such a good job limiting the Whalers to one shot or contesting a lot of shots. So without him, it changes their strategy, and they'll have to figure it out tonight.
And they, of course, will. Let's meet all the players in tonight's game.
JJ Robinson, Nathan Hale Magnet.
Calvin Mackay Sebastian, Armin Mess Elementary.
Xavier Good, Nathan Hale Elementary.
Xander Timmerman, Cigar Elementary.
Jacob Francis, Charles Bonham Elementary School.
Malachi Sad, PS 58, New York City.
Keith Go, Pleasant Valley Elementary.
Keith Reels, SB Butler Elementary.
Nick Wagner, SB Butler Elementary.
Wes Launchno, NEA.
Nathan Virtue, Sacred Heart.
Nas Rembert, Jonah Eddy, the Trench City School.
Shem Adams, Phillies Academy.
Ty Gruzian, Peyton Pritchard School.
Amir Gray, Gallup Elementary.
Colin O'Leary, Kenyon Day School.
Curtis Marshall, Shadur Academy.
Justin Ello, the Boondocks Boarding School.
Oakley Garrison.
Tyler Manguel, the Luke Gilday Academy.
Nate Little, just here for Wormwoods Academy.
Darren Anthony Robinson III, Reverend Gonzalez, B. Lombardo School.
Trey Kelvin Jr., Big Troy Academy.
Tyson Manguel, the Luke Gilday Academy.
Amari Marshall, Armor Mess Elementary.
Savion Melendez, Mighty Herds Academy.
So the Fitch Falcons have lost 2 straight games, total of 3 points. They're going to have to try to reinvent themselves. But if you're going to try to reinvent themselves, you coach, you know that when you head into the tournament play, it's about guards. They got 2 of the best in not only the conference, 2 of the best in the state of Connecticut. And I think the conversation in the ECC about best backcourt is a fascinating one. I'm sure Deshaun Phillips and Devin Williams in New London want to be in the conversation. Amir Gray and Nas Rembert want to be in the conversation. But it's going to be tough to convince anybody, including me, that Xavier Good and JJ Robinson aren't the best backcourt. So it's not like they don't have a building block. Malachi Saab has been fabulous. What do they need to do?
Well, I mean, the thing that's so impressive about the Fitch backcourt is they're so young. So they're only getting better, and they get better exponentially almost every week. So and remember, Xavier was out with an injury for the first several weeks of the season, so he's still kind of getting his sea legs, so to speak. Those guys are going to be really a lot better come postseason time. So I think what you touched on, Casey, was Malachi Saab. He has to now step up. We saw him have a great scoring game against New London a couple weeks ago. I think he's got to have a big scoring game tonight.
So, St. Bernard is really looking to gel. And playing, down a person, they have the luxury of having almost an actual legitimate backup to all of their 5 guys. If you were to take out any one person, even someone as important as Amir Gray, they've got an option at point guard, something they really didn't have last year. If you took out, a Mangual, you've got an O'Leary. If you take out a Marshall, you've got a Marshall. You've got a McKelvin. So St. Bernard's is sort of using all of their adversity as an opportunity to get this rotation ready for what they're looking to play meaningful basketball. For Fitch, you're 100% right. It's now time for people to step up and step into the role. Francis isn't replaceable, but when you have the chaotic effort that Fitch can produce, you've said it, if they continue the chaos and add a little bit of smarts then they can not only overcome this injury, but quickly become a factor again.
Yeah, if you can score, if you got guys who can get you a bucket in crunch time, you have a chance in every game. And that's what they have with that backcourt, and they just got to take it one play at a time and make sure they're getting a good shot every possession.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we'll take a moment for our national anthem. Well, for either team tonight to succeed, they're going to have to bring the fundamentals. So it's time for some freshly squeezed juice, the tips and the keys for tonight's game, brought to you by the coach, Chris Giusti. What do you got, Coach?
Casey, for St. Bernard, ground and pound. Attack the rim, crash the glass with ferocity. Use your size to create extra shots with offensive rebounds. Play fast, not rushed. Push the ball and create tempo, but make the smart pass. Don't rush or force the ball where it can be stolen. And handle business. Fitch has nothing to lose and will let it rip. Don't get caught up in the hype of the environment. Stay focused. Play your game for all 4 quarters. For Fitch, JJ's neighborhood. Talking about the young man, Mr. Robinson. JJ, put the ball in his hands. Run the offense through him. Good to go. The other half of the Falcon dynamic duo. Design plays to get him open shots versus the Saint defense. And pressure cooker. Turn up the ball pressure to force St. B's into mistakes. Get extra possessions with steals and turnovers.
I like what the Falcons are doing in the starting lineup by adding Xander Timmerman, because he's an effort guy. He is their Mangual, their O'Leary, the same kind of role. And he doesn't need the basketball. He doesn't need points, right? He's going to do all of those things. So with him and Sebastian on the floor, those are 2 guys that don't need the basketball. And it really frees up the 3 guys who do to be able to operate. So, size might be a problem, but effort will not be for this group of Falcons. Marshall to tip it off. Saab wins the tip. And the Falcons will have the first possession. Robinson will run the offense.
Saints open up. Man to man.
Up top now, there's Saab. McKelvin on him. Saab drives left, tries to zip it in to Sebastian, and it bounces off a couple of players, but last touch by Fitch. So turnover on their first possession, and we'll see what the Saints dial up. For the Saints, the 2 freshmen, Marshall and McKelvin, coming of age as the season moves on, becoming such an important part of what they do. And the Falcon pressure, as Rembert throws it a little tall for Gray, and back-to-back turnovers here. But we saw the Falcons against New London with that 2-1-2 half court that really caused New London problems.
Yeah, and it certainly worked to start this game as well.
Little weave, Saab, good. Now Good tries to take McKelvin, pull-up jumper. Back iron, no good, and a nice rebound by Curtis Marshall. He'll try to push like a guard. Rembert waits for it. Quick trigger 3 is going to be long. And Robinson goes down hard, and the ball is off of him. It'll be St. Bernard ball underneath.
And you're going to see that the guards are going to have to rebound a little bit more. JJ getting in there, active, trying to get defensive rebounds. All 5 are going to have to rebound for the Falcons.
Gray, that was a pass, and Saab tried to intercept it. Got there a step late, made contact in the air with Gray. A foul will be on Malachi Saab. In the first matchup at St. Bernard's, Fitch came out like a house of fire and really put the pressure on the Saints early, and you can see the Saints just weather the storm. Underneath, Gray with the left hand, no good, but Marshall's there for the putback. He's so tough to keep off the glass.
Yeah, and that's going to be an issue for the Falcons tonight. If they allow Kurt to get going like that on the offensive glass, it's going to be a lot of easy putbacks for the Saints.
Sebastian away from the basket. Gives up to Robinson. Now Robinson with a little crossover. Sebastian in the paint. Comes in and a little floater in the lane is good. We're tied at 2.
One of the things I noticed early, Saints switching a lot of screens, so the Falcons could get some mismatches, getting some of their quick guards defended by the St. Bernard big men.
And we saw that same thing. That's what Fitch, that when New London switched the screens, Fitch feasted. Mangual drives, left hand, no good, and we're going to get a foul called. And Mangual is going to get fouls on Timmerman with the block, so Mangual will shoot 2. Now, in his homecoming, if you will, back at Wyndham earlier in the week, Tyler Mangual had his best effort of the season. Started to get in the flow, and people, I think, need to remember that, we talk a lot about the freshmen of Marshall and McKelvin, acclimating themselves. Rembert and Mangual are also new to this team. So of the 5 guys on the floor right now, 4 of them are first-time Saints. And so it does take a long time to get acclimated. I think Mangual's only getting better, only figuring out his role more and more. Knocks them both down. St. Bernard's back on top by a deuce. Double Robinson. He finds Sebastian. Kick out for 3. Back iron, no good, and a strong rebound by Marshall. He has it tipped away by Good. Gray drives, hangs in the air and finishes at the rim. Strong take by Amir Gray. 4-point lead for the Saints. We saw Saab missed a 3. I don't think he missed one the first time we had him. Good misses that one. Rembert pushing to the basket. Left hand, no good. Timmerman with the rebound. Now Good drives the other way. Finds Sebastian. Puts it on the floor. Ill-advised. Rembert is going to be fouled, I believe, by Saab away from before he could get rid of the ball. So that foul's on Saab.
Sometimes it becomes a little bit overcomplicated. Got to get other guys involved. We don't have Jacob. Let's see if we let's let JJ and Xavier get some shots up, and everybody else go chase for rebounds.
2 quick fouls on Malachi Saab. Nice look in the paint. Mangual drives. I like that. Him flashing to the foul line. Gets to the basket. 8-2 Saints. Robinson all the way to the basket, and once he gets his mind to it, tough to stop him.
I just love this kid's game, and until St. Bernard's decides that they're going to trap him every possession, keep going to the rack.
Long 3 for Amir Gray, no good. Marshall with the rebound. Stripped by Robinson, and he's going to be fouled. Gray reached in and got a piece of Robinson.
Yeah, St. Bernard's has really dominated the play right now, but only a 4-point lead because they missed a couple chippies and took some long shots. So Fitch well within striking distance, and let's see if JJ decides to go to the hoop again.
I like the screens and try to get Good or Robinson free. Right by Gray, Wild to the basket, And that's kind of a bailout foul. I think Robinson was a little out of control there, but he did draw the foul, and he'll. They're going to say, is it shooting or not? They are saying it's shooting, so Robinson will go to the line.
I'm going to counter one of your points for a change there, though, Case. I actually like it better against St. Bernard when they don't screen for JJ, because Coach Jones is so good at coaching ball screen defense. They hedge high. It almost becomes like a trap. He has to end up giving it to somebody else that might not be able to score it as well. I like that Coach Sylvan is spreading them out. He's so quick. He's so hard to stay in front of. It puts the onus on the referee to make a call when he comes charging into the lane like that.
This is why I do what I do and you do what you do, because I think that's a great point, and I've changed my mind. I think those screens are idiotic. Let's not see them ever again. Nice look, Marshall. And I get what Kurt Marshall had there. He had almost too many options, right?
Yeah,
he could go to, do I want to pull up? Do I want to go to the basket? Do I want to find a cutting Mangual? And he kind of did a little bit of everything. He pump fake, 2 steps, try to make the pass. Sometimes stick with your first instinct. 3, back iron, no good from Rembert. Mangual, though, with the long rebound. And there's a nice look to Marshall, and he's going to get fouled on his way to the basket. Kurt Marshall will shoot 2.
And the offensive glass is hurting the Falcons right now. They're giving up way too many second opportunities to the Saints. And another foul on Fitch. They have 14 fouls now, 4 minutes and 7 seconds into the quarter.
2 for Marshall. First one is good. And we're going to see Saab take a seat. And Ben Perry, our guy, our game day favorite, the quarterback of the Falcons, will come into the game, which only makes Fitch smaller, which means Robinson is going to have to take on some responsibilities of the rebounding. Marshall throws up 2 knuckleballs and knocks them both down. Robinson now will control up top. High screen. And he's going to be fouled away from the ball, away from the basket by McKelvin. So that's the 3rd foul on St. Bernard. And it'll reset the shot clock. Here comes Fitch. Good. Drives. Hangs. Silky.
Nice. He caught the ball and immediately got that inside lane. Had the defender on his hip. Used his body to shield him off. Get the layup. Great move by Good.
Gray uses a screen, hangs in the air, great body control, but can't get it to go. McKelvin ultimately comes down with the rebound, and there's the size issue, keeping both Marshall and McKelvin, as well as Mangual, off the glass is a challenge right now for Fitch.
Yeah, and the fouls are piling up as well. Thought Good did a great job of getting over the top of that ball screen and forced Amir into a tough shot. They got to secure that defensive rebound.
McKelvin will shoot 2 as the 15th foul on Fitch. That one rattles in and out, and we'll see Saab come back into the game. Timmerman will have a seat. One more for Troy McKelvin Jr. Second one is good. It's back to a 3-point St. Bernard lead. Good, they double him to stop the ball penetration. Now Robinson has Marshall on him. He wants to back away and mismatch here.
Yeah, now you want to spread him out.
And good job by Marshall. Rembert gets the steal. Ends up in the hands of Marshall, and he's blocked by Saab. I don't think Kurt Marshall was expecting Malachi Saab's length. O'Leary and Gridgen check into the game for St. Bernard's, replacing Rembert and Mangual. Perry checks out as well for Fitch.
Fascinating matchup. O'Leary guarding Xavier Good. I'd love to see a one-on-one matchup here.
Reels checks into the game for Fitch. JJ getting to the hoop.
We talk about how quick and nimble Amir Gray is, and JJ goes by him like he's standing still.
Saab, another block, this time on McKelvin Jr. But the Falcons could never quite maintain possession, and it'll be St. Bernard basketball. Saab living dangerously. 2 fouls going up for the block.
Yeah, they just need him in. I think they need him in there, or the game gets away too quickly.
Robinson strips Marshall. Coming in the other direction. Baseline. Here's to you, Mr. Robinson. Falcons with their first lead as J.J. Robinson taking it over here.
Yeah, he's good.
Grudgeon loses it. McKelvin has it, but then Saab comes up with it, and he throws it off McKelvin Jr. out of bounds. Falcons ball.
So in the last minute and a half, the intensity has been picked up by the Falcons. JJ's gotten a couple baskets. Xavier got a couple baskets, and when you see the ball go through the basket, you get a little hop in your step.
And Malachi Saab had a hop in his step, that block on Marshall. St. Bernard's switching up to a little matchup zone. Saab drives, and he's going to get fouled and shoot 2. St. Bernard wanted to walk the big strides of Malachi Saab, but he's going to go to the line with a chance to extend the Fitch lead. First one all over it, but doesn't go down. One more for Malachi Saab. Perry's checking back into the game here, but he's going in for Saab, so a little miscommunication. Be lucky, good thing you didn't get a 15-yard flag. Saab makes the second one. Perry comes in for him.
A little offense-defense now when he can have the opportunity to do so. Coach Sylvan subbing out Saab to kind of protect him. He's got those 2 personals.
McKelvin will take a seat, and Rembert back into the game. Fitch with a little full court pressure. Now he dropped back, but Perry's going to hound Gray. Gray goes right by him. Oh, beautiful body control by Amir Gray. And we're tied at 13.
Well, Fitch had an opportunity to take a charge there and decided not to.
Sebastian in the lane, no. Rebound tipped around, loose. Robinson has it. And on the floor, he's going to get a timeout, or we're going to call the walk. Timeout. Falcons tied at 13. 53 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Trying to ascertain if it's a full or a half. It is, in fact, a full timeout, so we're going to take a quick break ourselves. 13-13 here in the first quarter. You're watching Game Day Live, day.com.
All that is good begins with a smile. At Waterford Dental Health, your smile is our top priority. Our entire team is dedicated to providing you with the personalized, gentle care that you deserve. Part of our commitment to serving our patients includes providing information that helps them to make more informed decisions about their oral health needs. Our website is a resource we hope you'll find both useful and interesting. Contact us today at waterforddentalhealth.com.
$53 seconds remaining here in the first period. 13 all your score. The Falcons will inbound with Sebastian. Xavier good. Colin O'Leary guards him. Good stutter steps. Good job by O'Leary shutting that off. Now Robinson, and O'Leary stays with him. Robinson drives, hangs, can't get it to go, but look at Ben Perry with the follow. Gray, contact, they're saying on the floor, but he'll shoot 2 anyway because they're in the bonus.
It'll be interesting to see if Coach Jones adjusts his half-court defense to sag off those shooters in the corner, because when JJ gets a half a step on his man, he gets a really good opportunity at the rim. So I think they're going to have to find a way to get more help side in the paint and maybe sacrifice giving up an open shot with a hard closeout as opposed to letting JJ continue to get to the rim.
Nate Virtue checks into the ball game. He'll give Sebastian a break. One more for Amir Gregg. Second one is short. Uncharacteristically, Gray misses 2. Good. In the other direction, stutter step, reverse layup, no good. Virtue, offensive rebound, no good. But he's going to draw the foul on Marshall, and Nate Virtue just into the ball game with a big offensive rebound and a chance for 2 shots.
Yeah, they need that. They need to create some of their own opportunities for second shots, and even the presence sometimes of a big body will make a big difference in the rebound game.
Well, that's really what Virtue is. He's the only guy with that type of size. You know, Saab's got length, Sebastian's got length, but Virtue is a true wide body. He's a big, and he can use that. He's very good around the basket. He's a very good rebounder, and that's something different. Now, sometimes their style of play doesn't always fit what he can do, but incorporating him to do what he does well will be of a huge asset to the Falcons. Gray, Rembert foregoes the 3, now step back 3, good! Nas for 3 at the end of the first quarter. That gives the Saints a 1-point lead. So at the end of 1, 16-15, St. Bernard's on top. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com.
All that is good begins with a smile. At Waterford Dental Health, your smile is our top priority. Our entire team is dedicated to providing you with the personalized, gentle care that you deserve. Part of our commitment to serving our patients includes providing information that helps them to make more informed decisions about their oral health needs. Our website is a resource we hope you'll find both useful and interesting. Contact us today at waterforddentalhealth.com.
Rembert didn't like that 3, he liked that one instead, and that triple puts the Saints back on top by 1 as we start the second period. Coach, in the break, we were talking a little bit about options that Mark Jones has to try to stop the dribble penetration from J.J. Robinson and Xavier Good. We've seen the Saints have a lot of success with that 3-2 that you're so familiar with, otherwise known as the Outlaw 3-2. Where'd he get it from? We don't know, but you mentioned in the New London game that one of the ways to attack that 3-2 is with those vertical penetration that the guards can get. Robinson seems to be getting that.
He's so quick, and if he can find a gap, he can find a way to slither in there. I think that you could do a number of things to try. You could double him and try to get the ball out of his hands, or you could try to pack it in. The Tony Bennett pack line defense. Jeff Bernardi played that a lot at East Lyme over the years, and give up a closeout 3. With Fitch, some of these newer guys in, you might want to pick your poison with that.
Sports Doctor was listening in on the Fitch side of things. What do you got?
Yeah, Casey. Coach Sylvan talked about second chance scoring opportunities. Right now, St. Bernard's killing them on the glass. So he's talking about the 50-50 balls off the rebounds. Also defensively, when you notice Fish extending defensively, St. Bernard's is getting some good looks by the rim. So they decide to pack it in a little bit defensively, keep St. Bernard's off the rim.
Grudgeon in hounding Robinson. You saw Dave Cornish earlier. He's here tonight scouting the matchup. He's got to play both of these teams again. Good. Straightaway 3, no, soft. Rembert goes up high for the rebound. Good needed one more rotation. Rembert, kick out. Grudgeon finds O'Leary for 3, no good. McKelvin saves it. Gray drives, hangs. Basket no good, he walked. I got to tell you, it's loud in here.
Yeah, I thought that was the right call. Yeah, we got, as Sports Doctor alluded to, we got the old school wood benches with no aisleway. The teams are actually sitting on the bench, so, if you're in row 2, you get to see the plays. This is how it used to be back in the day.
Perry picks his dribble up, but Good comes and helps him out. Good little stutter step, gets himself into some trouble though. Mangual with the good hands. But great job by Ben Perry. He saves it to Good. Good one-on-one with Mangual. Hangs in the air. No good, but he'll shoot too. So good effort by Mangual, but he could never quite get himself set to take that charge.
Yeah, and I like the call, even though there isn't the restricted area in high school. I mean, his head is under the rim. I think you got to give the advantage to the offensive player there. Although I know the St. Bernard coaching staff would disagree with me.
What if I told you that I would take the charge out of basketball altogether? I'd get rid of the charge. Doesn't mean I'd get rid of the offensive foul. I would keep screen. I would keep illegal screens. I would keep the shove off but no charges. You go to the basket. You know what? You go at the basket, contact at your own risk. Get up there and block the shot. No more charges. Safety of our athletes are our first priority here on game day. Good knocks them both down, puts the Falcons back on top by 1. Rembert hangs in the air, delicate floater by Naz Rembert, and we got a little bit of a lead change going on. Good. 3 ball is off the mark. Grudgen's gonna run the floor here. Rembert open for 3, in and out. Mangual keeps it alive, but Robinson comes out of the pack, finds Good. And Xavier Good running the floor puts the Fitch Falcons back up a point.
And those two guys, I mean, it's the future of Fitch Falcon basketball and the future of the ECC. They can get up.
Rembert, little teardrop, no good. Falcons with a chance to extend the 1-point lead. Here comes Xavier Good in the other direction. And we're going to get a block on Ty Grudgen.
Roger Warner was listening to your plea to get rid of the
no charge. Get out of the way.
But I like that Fitch is just continuing to just let Xavier and JJ dictate the offense and look to try and get their own shots. Now that Malachi's in the game, now you got a third option, but those other guys are in there just to kind of make it messy, create some havoc, and they have. St. Bernard's does not look comfortable.
Virtue back in the game, as is Kurt Marshall. The Saints have now put Mangual on Good. Robinson drives, kick out, Perry for 3. Got it! Ben Perry gives Fitch its biggest lead at 3 rather. Gray finds Marshall, he'll be fouled and he'll go to the line to shoot 2. Good answer by Amir Gray.
That was the first three-pointer hit by Fitch. And once again, it's the ability of JJ to get in a piece of the paint, and that time St. Bernard decided they were going to collapse and give up an open shooter on the perimeter and try to close out on that shooter, and he knocked it down.
Kurt Marshall has knocked down all of his free throws tonight. Look at the ball coming out of his hand. It doesn't have spin on it, and yet he hasn't hit the rim. 3 free throws, but it comes out like a almost like a knuckleball. And he hasn't hit the rim on 4 free throws. So pretty good. So much for that snap the wrist and get that backspin. Robinson breaks it, hangs, and he's going to draw the foul on Mangual. I think that's a good call too. I think Tyler was a step late.
So it's interesting, it's every coach just believes in different things. So they're not going to let JJ go right, even though going right is forcing him into the screen and forcing him into help. they're letting him reject the screen because it's his weak hands. So what that means is you have to be in position to take the charge, and if he kicks it out to the perimeter, you have to be able to close out on that shooter. But that's right now the way that they're playing J.J. Robinson.
5 minutes remaining here in the half. Fitch with a 2-point lead. Robinson will shoot one more. And Fitch back up to that 3-point lead. 10 in the game for Robinson. Perry hounding Amir Gray. Gray crosses him over, pump fakes, hangs, and Marshall can't get it to go. Marshall gets his own rebound though, and it spurts back out to Naz Rembert. McKelvin drives, pulls up on the baseline, no good. Mangual with the follow. St. Bernard's just killing Fitch on the glass. The Francis factor is definitely in play. Good. Left hand doesn't get it to go. I think the net had something to do with that. The other way, Rembert. He can't get the floater to go, and Perry ends up with it for the Falcons, and now they have the 1-point lead in the basketball.
Yeah, Rembert's been able to get pretty much any shot he wants. He's just not hitting them.
Man, they are overplaying Robinson. Now he goes the other direction. Basket is good, and the foul. J.J. Robinson is a menace right now, and the Saints do not have an answer.
Yeah, they're sticking with this game plan to let them reject, and they're not getting in position to take charges. They have to step up higher into the paint, meet them earlier, and force that kick out.
Foul is on McKelvin. So, what's the downside to doubling Robinson when he's up top with the ball?
Well, first of all, you got to know how to do it. Like, if they haven't practiced doing it, it's easy for us to say, oh, just double him, you know, because then, you know, when you come out, he's going to throw it out of the trap to somebody. You got to know how to scramble out who's going where based on where the trap happens. That has to be practiced. You can't all of a sudden just draw it up. So that's the first thing. The other thing is you're going to give up an open shot to somebody else.
So here's my thing. There's two guys on the floor right now that I would be happy to let take a shot for Fitch. Andre Roberts is on the floor. Virtue's on the floor. I'll let them shoot. I don't want to give up an open three to Saab. What if I said I like the concept of jumping Robinson, getting the ball out of his hands because he's too dangerous with it in his hands. And if Virtue beats me, Roberts beats me, then so be it. But I'm not letting J.J. Robinson bleed me dry getting to the basket.
I would say a lot of coaches would agree with that.
Rembert. Now that was a nice move by Naz. A little stutter step, hesitation, and the high floater off the glass.
And he's quick as well. A lot of quick guards on the floor.
Robinson pulls up just inside the free throw line. Can't get it to go. Marshall, strong rebound. Tries to get it to Rembert, but had the angle of the pass off. Gray in the other direction, and Good's gonna foul Marshall. A lot of action there, and a lack of the understanding of geometry on a couple of the bounce pass attempts.
Yeah, I mean, I think sometimes, you know, with the excitement of the moment, they want to throw that one hand off the dribble, spin bounce pass, and just land on two-hand bounce pass. If it's not there, pull up for the little short 15-footer. But freshman.
Sports Doctor's been listening over on the St. Bernard side of things. What are you hearing?
Well, there's frustration from the St. Bernard bench because they feel like they're leaving a lot of meat on the bone out there. You talked about the missed layups from Rembert and even Marshall. If he could convert, you know, these bunnies, St. Bernard's would have a 10, 12-point lead right now. So they're frustrated with the refs and they're frustrated with themselves a little bit on the St. Bernard side.
1 of 2 for Marshall, and we are tied at 25.
We saw the same thing when the Saints played down in New London. They missed a lot. New London made it sloppy. It was an aggressive game. There weren't a lot of fouls called.
Robinson again to the basket, draws another foul. He'll shoot 2 again. And you can see the frustration in the Saints because they're not used to a singular player being able to sort of do what he wants.
Yeah, and to your point, Casey, an adjustment will be made. Halftime is where you can make an adjustment like that. You got a little bit more time. The environment's quiet. You can talk about how you're going to do things to keep the ball out of his hands. Right now, got to ride this out. I think just making better decisions on offense right now is what the Saints have to shore up in this last 2:44.
You know, we saw this as well at St. Bernard's in their first matchup. Fitch got out to a great start. And the thing about the Saints is they just don't get rattled. So they weather, they make adjustments, and then they kind of just wear you out. And that's what we saw in the first one. We'll see what happens here. Foul's going to be called on Roberts. He was a little handsy with Amir Gray. You know, for all our talk of Fitch right now, you know, Saints only down 1 with the basketball here, chance to take the lead. So, you know, it's not even like it was at St. Bernard's where Fitch jumped out to a lead. Saints are right there, and I think you're right. They are leaving a lot on the bone right now. Gray, pull-up jumper, splash.
That's one of the prettiest things to watch in our league when he comes to that elbow area and he just hangs in the air for about 1.37 seconds and then just releases a perfect rotation jump shot.
Good, going one-on-one with Mangual. Pulls up a 3 in his face, no good. Mangual with a long rebound. Rembert racing ahead of the pack. Challenges Robinson. And it's going to be a jump ball between Good and Gray.
And another missed layup opportunity for the Saints.
Possession arrow favors Fitch. 2 minutes on the clock in a 1-point St. Bernard lead.
Great environment here tonight.
There's the double on Robinson. Causes a turnover. Marshall, 2-on-1. And he turns it over. Ball's loose. And we're going to get another jump ball. This time the possession arrow will favor St. Bernard.
Sloppy. Sloppy with the ball.
Which I think is what Fitch would love. Fitch wants the old Arkansas Nolan Richardson style of the uglier the better for us. I think Fitch will say, hey, listen, we'll turn it over 20 times because we're going to make you turn it over 25.
Well, and since Coach Sylvana's taken over this program, that's kind of how they've always played it. Like after they played St. Bernard the first time, they kind of changed up, used more of this half-court trapping zone look. It worked so well against New London. Maybe they thought they found something, but now that Francis is out, maybe they can go back to that, you know, havoc creating man-to-man run and jump style.
Saints with a 1-point lead and the basketball. Gray eyes the 3, wants to, instead drives, kicks it. Rembert drives, spins. Oh, good look from Naz Rembert to Curtis Marshall, and the Saints are back up 3. Robinson drives, floats, and draws another foul.
And just to put this in context, Coach Jones, pretty good defensive player for anybody who knows. When he was a player at NFA, I mean, he could lock down any of the best of them. Went on and played at Dayton. Great man-to-man defender. He loves Colin O'Leary's man-to-man defense. He talks about it all the time, how good it is. And J.J. Robinson is going right by him like a hot knife through butter.
Yeah, like one guy is playing at 33 speed, and the other guy's playing in 0:45. That's a record analogy for those of you at home. What's a record, Dad? I think the Saints earlier in the year played East Catholic, and there'll be a rematch live on game day in the coming weeks. And in that game, they got a chance to see how Samson Riley can take over a game. He was the best player on the floor. But it felt different. This is a frustrating takeover because Robinson's literally doing whatever he wants. Turnover, good, and Gray with a beautiful block and strip. Saints with numbers. Gray kicks. Rembert spots up three. Got it! Nas rules the world, and the Saints are up 4.
Great block by Amir Gray, the fastest hands in the ECC. Made up for a careless pass. Got a little, maybe a little twist of the ankle from JJ here, limping a little bit, Casey.
Yep, I see there, call a quick timeout. Robinson is saying he's going to stay on the floor, so he's walking it off right now. We'll find out what the story is there, but I was just saying, I don't know that you can, there's nothing more frustrating than having someone just be better than you, meaning like you do everything right and they still beat you. It's really hard. Colin O'Leary is a great, like you said, man-to-man defender, and Robinson goes right by him. Yeah. That's gotta be super frustrating, and he's hanging in the air, drawing fouls on people. That's just really hard for the Saints right now. Robinson seems okay, tied the shoe a little tighter.
And what they have to do better than Casey is just play better on offense and outscore them.
Mangual jumped the pass and had a steal, but out of bounds it goes. You see Robinson saying that's on me. I think what the Saints are about to do is turn it up a notch. I think when you come out in the second half, you're going to see a level of energy from the Saints that's a step higher. And it starts, you see it right now. They are not going to let Good and Robinson continue to just own everything. Now Good, step back, jumper, nothing but net. And he says, you know what? Try all you want. I'm Batman. Pressure from Fitch. Mangual turns it over. 10 seconds remaining. Up ahead it goes to Good. On Gray. Baseline. Kicks it back out. We're going to have to get a shot at the buzzer. No good. We're at halftime. 32-30. St. Bernard's on top in a very entertaining first half. A lot to think about. We're going to see what Mark Jones thinks about it with the Sports Doc.
Well, Coach, you guys take a 2-point lead into the locker room. Do you feel you left a lot on the court there in the first half?
Yeah, we just got to take care of the ball. There's way too many turnovers, way too being sloppy with the ball and being careless.
That guard play gave you guys trouble, Robinson in particular. Anything cooked up, maybe special in the second half to slow him down?
Yeah, we got to do better on the ball screens. He's rejecting, he's coming off it. We're not forcing him to do anything, so we got to get better at that.
All right, good luck, Coach. Casey?
Thank you, Sports Doctor. The God of the Week, brought to you by my guys at CNS Pawn, Chip and Sock down there. If you got it, they want it. Well, this week's got it comes to us from Benji Dixon of Ledyard Middle School. We're at halftime, 32-30, Saints on top. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com.
Let's go.
Got it! The Got It of the Week was brought to you by CNS Pawn. You got it, they want it. Call my guys, 889-PAWN, located in downtown Norwich. Whatever you got, they want. And just like Game Day, they got it.
A big reason for Fitch's early success this season has been senior big man Jacob Francis.
He's growing defensively.
Francis with a strong rebound.
He's been rebounding very well.
Active is Francis.
And blocking shots.
No good. Francis got a piece of it.
So I think he's still finding his niche and how he fits in offensively with this group.
Why has this been your best season so far?
I feel like I'm a senior. Everybody, I've been here since I was a freshman. Everybody, knows me and, they respect me. So, just being a leader.
His leadership on the court is a contrast to his quiet personality.
The big guy in the middle isn't usually soft-spoken.
No.
You are?
Yes, I am.
Is it hard to be soft-spoken off the floor and then be the man on it?
Yes, it is. Oh, for sure. but I have no choice. I have to use my voice so the guys can like actually hear me and know where to go, like what's going on in the game and stuff like that.
People looking at his size and athleticism might expect him to be a certain kind of player. But Francis has developed his game to fit just what his team needs from him.
But I think almost everybody has high expectations for me.
And how is that hard?
Makes me worry I can't get like to their expectation, but I have my own that I set for myself.
That can be the trap door, I think, for kids with his length. But I think for what he gives us, it's what we need at this time.
Offensive foul. Francis took the charge.
He's been outstanding in the first 6 games defensively.
Francis has stood in there a number of times tonight.
He's blocked more shots than he has probably in the first 6 games than he has in his career here so far. He's had, I think, 4 double-doubles already.
Francis underneath Sebastian. The Whalers lost him.
So he's not scoring at a clip where people might suspect or expect because he's 6'5".
And a great rebound by Francis.
But he is rebounding and having a huge impact on games for us in terms of what he's doing defensively.
Francis with the tip, 27-12.
Francis and his teammates are out to show that the ECC has more than just 2 teams to look out for this year.
Like hearing New London and St. Bernard's, me personally, I don't like hearing that a lot. But like this season, we're the underdogs. I think we can take it. We can take both teams.
He was a big part of what we did last year. I mean, he was a big part of that state championship run. And, you know, we wouldn't be state champions without him. He's a big part of what we're doing this year also.
He wants me to always go out and guard the best player and just try to get in their head, make them have an off day and do anything we can do to win.
Yeah, like he's an irritant, man. Like he's, you know, poking you, doing stuff like that or whatever, and he's good at it. You know, he does it in practice, he does it in the game, so why wouldn't we have him guard the best players? And he's athletic, he can move, he can keep guys in front, and like I said, he's competitive. So I think he does a great job in his role, and he's a star in his role.
I feel like I really embrace it because I feel like it means like I'm hard working. I can keep this team together on the court and like keep the energy up, and that's just my goal.
You know, Doc Rivers always says like be a star in your role, and he's a star in his role, and that's defensively knocking down open shots and being a leader on this team. Like he's a leader for a reason, and there's no way that we win a state championship without Colin. There's no way.
Do you think you have to be a star to be a leader?
No, definitely not. I feel like if I just bring intensity and show the other kids that I'm willing to win and how hard we have to work to win, I feel like that is very important.
I'll tell you a quick story. He was starting at the beginning of the season, and I said to him, you know, Colin, we're going to put Tyler back into the starting lineup. I said, all right, coach. Like, he didn't bat an eye or anything. And I was like, okay, I had a big speech and everything prepared for you to understand why I was doing what I was doing. But he was like, nah, coach, I'm fine. Don't worry about it. I'm good. We're trying to win a state title. If that's what you think's right, let's go with it.
You could be a 1,000-point scorer someplace else or have the career you had here.
I would have to take that ring any day of the week.
It's time for Game Day's Grade 8 Plays of the Week. At number 8, NFA Wrestling's Dugan Marsh. I love those wrestling terms. How about the spladle? Gets him over. Marsh with the pin. At number 7, Woodstock Basketball. Look at Teddy Richardson go behind the back once and twice. Brady Erickson finishes. Nice play, Woodstock. At number 6, Christian Massa. Shelton Wrestling. Aggressive, persistent, not giving up. He is determined. One more time. That didn't seem to take very long. 26 seconds on the pin. At number 5, St. Bernard's Basketball. Look at the big man, Curtis Marshall with the steal. Off to the races. Don't hurt him, Kurt, with the dunk. At number 4, Lyman Wrestling, Calvin Samarco. 113 pounds versus Putnam, and something about those quick pins, but Samarco in only 22 seconds, holding on, putting them down, waiting for it. Boom, pin time. At number 3, congratulations to New London's Serenity Lancaster. Sometimes scoring isn't easy. You gotta get your own rebound and put it back. 1,000 points for Lancaster, but you know what? She says, you can't score on me either. Net sum gain, Serenity Lancaster. At number 2, Aiden Amaral, Stonington Basketball's senior team manager. Into the game, launches a 3, got it! First ever high school points for Aiden. But at number 1, Cooper Daniele, Plainville Wrestling, 165 pounds. Whoa! How do you train for something like that?
All those gymnastics classes paid off.
Thanks, Mom. Those are your grade 8 plays of the week. Send us your clips.
2-point St. Bernard lead at halftime, and that means it's time to make some adjustments. The second half adjustment brought to you by my folks at Casey Chiropractic. Located in Colchester, Connecticut, Dr. Casey and his team are dedicated to providing quality assessment and planning for total body health. Hey, I just had my feet scanned today for some new orthotics. From head to toe, Casey Chiropractic will work with you on moving better, feeling great. So give them a call, 537-2202, or check out CaseyChiro.net for more information. Tell them Casey sent you, and I know how great it is because I go there. That's right, Casey goes to Casey. Head to toe, I've never felt better, including sitting here at the table, in the chair, listening to Coach tell me what the adjustments need to be.
Yeah, and in the first half, what Coach Jones alluded to is they're allowing JJ to reject the screen, and then he just gets into the lane. They don't force him to make a decision. They gotta force him into the screen, or at least, at the very least, bring the help side up higher so that he can't get so deep into the lane. So I think how they guard that ball screen and how they guard the person with the ball in that ball screen is the adjustment for St. Bernard. For Fitch, very simple. Got to keep the Saints off the glass. The Saints are going to continue to pound the glass, get extra shots. They got to find a way to make it one and done for St. Bernard.
Sports Doctor, you had a chance to talk to the coach. What did he have to say?
Number 4 out of the paint, Amir Gray, is a serious problem for the Saints. And also, too, Coach said, we're getting destroyed on the glass. We knew they were big. We knew they were strong. Everybody knows that. We got to man up a little bit up front, but he loves to see his guards play. Robinson are good, or giving them the goods. So just clean a few things up and find a little more rhythm on the offensive end.
So, Coach, here's a question. Why not do something funky? Why not go to a triangle and 2? Why not do something to disrupt the guard play of the Falcons?
I think the long play for Coach Jones has always been, and this is why he is one of the elite high school basketball coaches. He knows what it's going to have to take to win in March, and you can't use those types of gimmick defenses in the Division I tournament. So he needs his guys to stay true to the principles of what he teaches and what they practice every day, and that's playing sound man-to-man defense.
The aforementioned J.J. Robinson with the basketball. There's a turnover as they jump it. Kurt Marshall could never quite get a handle on it. Finally does. Puts it back in. The Saints are up 4. And I think these first 2 minutes are very important for Fitch because they're going to see something different. 11 for Marshall. Robinson picks his dribble up. Finds Saab. He's been quiet. JJ straight away. JJ! Hey! Triple brings the Falcons to within 1.
Yeah, they got caught on a switch, and then Kurt switched back. Left JJ wide open.
Gray up high, can't get it to go, but Mangual attacks the offensive glass and will draw the foul in the putback attempt, so he'll shoot 2. Foul's on Robinson, that's his first.
The three-point line was not kind in the first half, Casey. The Falcons were 1 of 5 from three-point land, and St. Bernard was 2 of 6.
Not exactly like the Celtics last night. If I put on a Celtics uniform and took a 3 last night, it was going in. Second one from Mangual is good. Lead up to 2. And clearly they are making an effort to get the ball out of Robinson's hands as he gets to a certain spot. Here's a screen, there's the double. And it's work on back-to-back plays. Gray, ahead, Marshall, layup, 4-point St. Bernard lead.
Yeah, so the adjustment is we're going to force them to use the screen, we're going to blitz it, and force them to make a decision.
Robinson this time gets rid of it. Saab picks up the dribble. They're going to be aggressive with J.J. Robinson. Good. Little fall away. He's going to be short. Rembert wants to push. Step back 3 for Rembert. Good! Nas! Don't hurt him!
That is filthy. He had Xavier on a string the whole way down the court. He knew that he was going to play him for that step back 3.
7-point lead. I said the first 2 minutes. We're at the 6-minute mark. The lead is 7. Saab for Wente. Drove, turns it over. I think he's got to shoot the basketball. Marshall, lazy defense from Fitch. Gray hangs and draws the foul on good. And that is lazy defense from the Falcons. A bunch of reaches that were unsuccessful, and instead Gray's going to be at the line with a chance to give the Saints their biggest lead of the ballgame.
Yeah, but the big difference right now is that Fitch can't get shots off. And that's, they got an open 3 from JJ and stuck it. Other than that, they got one fall-away jumper from Xavier Good.
First one from Gray, nothing but net.
So now the chalk is passed, and as I said before, Coach Curlin said many, many years ago to me, he who has the chalk last wins. So now the chalk is in Coach Sylvan's hands. He's got to make an adjustment.
Curtis Marshall is relentless. Every possession is a personal affront to his sensibilities. Good's going to be fouled, called on the floor. I talked with Kurt's uncle, the great Matt Rollins, before the game, and I said, I don't know that I've ever seen a freshman or maybe anyone play with it's like he takes it personally. And Matt, without breaking stride, looked at me and went, oh, he does. Like every possession's very personal. Timmerman draws the foul on the set piece coming out of the out of bounds. He'll shoot 2.
That was a nice out of bounds design by Fitch. We saw they had a nice series of baseline out of bounds plays against New London that elicited some easy baskets and some free throw opportunities. So that's a good way to kind of settle things down, get some chance to get some easy points here.
That cuts into a 10-point lead. Hard to believe, but it was 10. So the Saints came out, turned up the intensity. It's funny because I said they were going to come out in the second half and turn it up a notch. You said they were going to have something drawn up to adjust to the Robinson penetration, and they both happened in spades as they just, completely overwhelmed Robinson the first few possessions. The energy level much higher for the Saints.
That's what good teams do, right? And we've seen this team, so we kind of knew that's what was going to happen.
Rembert can't get the 3 to go. Strong rebound by Sebastian, and now here comes Robinson. Fitch needs a little run here to counteract the St. Bernard run. Long 3 from Good, no good. Gray pulls up from his spot at the elbow, a little bit strong. Good comes out of it. Saints get back, and the ball stripped by Rembert, but it'll be out of bounds off of Rembert. Fitch basketball.
Good recovery in transition after the long 3 miss. Or long 2 miss, rather, from Amir Gray. The long rebound popped out, gave him a transition opportunity.
Good, just inside the 3-point line, is off. Here comes Marshall, ahead to O'Leary. They have numbers. O'Leary challenges Saab, and the high left hand off the glass from Colin O'Leary.
I thought he was the difference in the first meeting. If Fitch had came back in the second half, they had taken the lead, and Colin O'Leary went on a personal 7-0 run. And St. Bernard reestablished themselves with the lead and never looked back.
Lead back to 10. Saab, open three. Little turbo from Saab.
They need him. They need him to hit those shots. He was the big difference against New London, and that allowed them to pull away. He needs to be confident shooting that ball.
Gray hangs, no good. McKelvin, rebound, and he's going to draw the foul on the putback.
Yet another offensive rebound for the Saints. This time it's Troy Jr. He'll go to the line.
2 shots for McKelvin Jr. We're going to see Perry back into the ball game. He gave them some high energy minutes in the first half.
Yeah, nice little player, Perry. Does his job. Stuck an open three, which is bonus.
Back iron, no good. Well, I think there's some truth to Perry as the quarterback in Fitch's fairly elaborate, but yet very principled offense where he has to make reads all the time. I think, his ability to come into a frantic environment, he's no stranger to any of that. You play quarterback at Fitch, you know how to make decisions, you know how to stand in the face of pressure. Lead is 8. Gray on Robinson. Robinson beats him. Rembert stepped in to take the charge. It definitely affected the shot from Robinson. Rembert, fancy left hand. X is gonna give it to you. Coming back the other way is good. O'Leary for 3, short. Rebound comes into the hands of Marshall. Basket is good, and the foul. Flex on him, Kurt. Shoot the bonus.
Yeah, TJ Troy Jr. kept it alive. The length inside of St. Bernard has been killing the Falcons all night, and they get the deuce and damage.
17 for Marshall, misses that one though. Lead goes back to 10. Good pushing it now for the Saints. O'Leary on him. Good crosses him over and loses it, but they're going to call a foul. And instead they say out of bounds. So good officiating there. Roger Warner and Tim Viveras gave each other a look, said nope, that's out of bounds. Here come the Saints in the other direction. McKelvin Jr. blocked by Sebastian. Perry, I'll tell you, I like Perry's energy for sure. He is scrappy in there.
Yeah, Fitch put the full court press on. St. Bernard immediately recognized it, got it up to McKelvin. Face guarding Amir Gray now.
Sebastian did a nice job getting his hands on it. Stay St. Bernard's ball.
So they got Benjamin Perry, just what we called 55, just chasing Amir Gray all around, face to face, not playing any help side D.
Now, do you play 55 so Gray can't drive? Robinson, the other direction, stripped by Gray. 3-on-1. Marshall can't handle it. The freshman pass to the freshman. McKelvin Jr., a nice one, but Marshall couldn't handle it.
Fitch hanging around. Every time there's a turnover like that, you give Fitch a chance to cut into the lead.
Good. Drives baseline on O'Leary, and Xavier Good hangs in the air, cuts the lead to 8.
What a serious jab step to get the baseline open, that was fantastic.
Robinson with a steal, up ahead. Lead cut to 6.
So St. Bernard's had a 10-point lead in the ball. They turn it over, and they gave Fitch a chance now to eke their way back in. Here's another turnover.
All right, lead is 6. Falcons with the basketball. Grudgeon's going to check into the game, and Charlie Giancopoulos is going to check into the game for the Falcons, as is Sakis Reels. So that means right now Good's getting a breather. So with this group on the floor, you got to consider Saab as the real option along with Robinson. So you got Reels, Giancopoulos, and Perry, along with Robinson and Saab. Minute 30 remaining in the third period. Grudgeon takes on Robinson. Robinson spins, and Rembert came in. And they're going to call Rembert with a foul on the reach, and that's a tough one.
Yeah, he must have just mistimed it. He timed it perfectly when JJ put his back to the basket. He snuck in there.
Oh, Grudgeon played it so well. The steal and the layup is good. What a nice play by Ty Grudgeon.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Just a miscommunication.
I thought he was gonna zig, and he zagged. The only one that read it was number 3. Lead back to 8, and a bad turnover because it cost him points. Robinson crosses him over. Falcons is trying to get to the end of the third period here. There's another, right now they're out of sync with these guys out of the lineup. Robinson, no good. Strong rebound, O'Leary. Up ahead now, Grudgeon. Rembert steps back just inside the 3-point line and buries it. Back to 10. 17 points for Naz Rembert.
Fitch can hold for the last shot here. Shot clock is off.
Saab, beautiful crossover, and he's going to draw the foul on O'Leary. That's a good call. The length of Saab, the wingspan, a little bit too much.
Yeah, and you teach some defenses. I know the defense that Coach Curlin taught to Coach Jones teaches that you are going to actually give up the baseline, but the key is you got to get help out to the block. And St. Bernard's was just a little bit late getting that help out to the block, and Saab was able to elevate and draw the foul on O'Leary.
I love what I just saw. There was a little jawing going on between Saab and O'Leary. Kurt Marshall stepped in to help out his teammate in the jaw session. It got a little more heated. Amir Gray walked over to Colin O'Leary, didn't say a word, and just pointed to his spot on the line and as if to say, go there now. And that's good leadership from Amir Gray.
There's also a violation, so Saab's only got 1 free throw now. There's a violation on Fitch.
And he misses it. And I get a foul on the floor. Timmerman got the rebound, and they're going to call O'Leary on the foul, and that's going to give Timmerman 2 as they're in the bonus now.
So Fitch makes out violation and a missed free throw, and then they get 2 more.
10-point lead. Zimmerman with a chance to cut into that with just under 6 seconds remaining here in the third.
The one thing we know about Fitch from watching him over the last couple of years, no lead is safe.
Yeah.
Either way.
If
they have a double-digit lead going into the fourth, that's not safe. And if they're down double digits going into the fourth, they could definitely come back.
Them being down 8, which they are right now, guarantees that the fourth period is going to be chaotic, though, because that's how they're going to play in the fourth to get this thing wherever it goes. Rembert at the buzzer. No good. We're at the end of 3. St. Bernard's has increased the lead. It's 8. Fourth quarter action on the other side. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com.
Being part of a great community is so important. People helping and supporting others can be very uplifting and contagious. At Philomena's Restaurant, that's exactly what you get. It's the community hub for not just Waterford, but all of southeastern Connecticut. Birthday parties, anniversary dinners, weddings, sports banquets, a drink with friends, and of course, charity events. Philomena's has been, is, and will always be there for the community. Celebrate and support southeastern Connecticut at Philomena's. Philomena's, Utopia Plaza in Waterford.
Mark Jones in the huddle, drawing up what he wants to see from the St. Bernard Saints as we start fourth quarter action. The Saints with an 8-point lead. And Coach, we knew that coming out of halftime they'd make the adjustment. They did it early, it had some success, and it caused Fitch to have to change what they had to do. So what do you see as Fitch's mandate here going into the fourth period?
Well, I like just the helter-skelter, just get all over the place and make it messy, but they can't allow St. Bernard to get second chance opportunities. So whatever they got to do to secure that loose ball is what they got to do. For St. Bernard, they have to take care of the basketball. It's got to be driving Coach Jones crazy. They had a 10-point lead with the ball, and then in the next 3 possessions, they didn't even get a shot off. So Fitch could have cut into it a little bit more, but it's 8. Now you got to play the fourth. You got to play smart. I think the team that turns it over the least wins the game.
I agree. I think the team at the end of it with more points is going to win this thing. Sports Doctor, you were in the huddle. What'd you hear?
Yeah, they just talk about situational basketball. There's not a talk about effort. There's not talk about making mistakes. It's kids are going to run off the timeout, and just keep doing our thing and imposing our will. All positive stuff for the Saints.
Great look. Naz Rembert, Kurt Marshall. Marshall will go to the line and shoot the bonus, and he and Amir Gray are saying, you know what? That was pretty good. That was pretty good right there.
Hey, Casey, we've talked about this too. Good coaches really don't have to say a lot to their teams. Jones doesn't ravel. Even Coach Sylvan doesn't ravel. They just kind of stick with the course and go with it,
I think you're right.
The course of the years.
Well, I think we've seen it all the time, right? The best coaches say less. Good. They did a nice job shutting off the dribble there. Saab was looking at it, changed his mind. Falcons need a good possession here. Instead, they turn it over. Marshall, Robinson, beautiful job cutting in front of him, getting a piece of it, but it'll stay with the Saints.
I like that little play design. Just St. Bernard's just played it perfectly. A little curl action, tight screen curl action off the back, but St. Bernard's was able to show on the screen and get a deflection.
Rembert drives, high floater, no good, gets his own rebound. Kicks out to Gray for 3, short, but Marshall, he can't finish. Finally, Saab with a strong rebound. Robinson turns on the Jets, and how did that not go down? Rembert coming the other direction, left hand zip pass, Marshall finishes. Naz Rembert, Kurt Marshall, Saints are up and running, it's 12. Timeout, Falcons. The Saints are up 12, and Fitch searching for answers. We'll take a quick break. You're watching Game Day live, day.com.
Being part of a great community is so important. People helping and supporting others can be very uplifting and contagious. At Philomena's Restaurant, that's exactly what you get. It's the community hub for not just Waterford, but all of southeastern Connecticut. Birthday parties, anniversary dinners, weddings, sports banquets, a drink with friends, and of course, charity events. Philomena's has been, is, and will always be there for the community. Celebrate and support southeastern Connecticut at Philomena's. Philomena's, Utopia Plaza in Waterford.
Naz Rembert gives the Saints a whole different look when he is playing team basketball like that. He's got great court vision. Sometimes he sees passes, his body doesn't react in time to make what he sees. At that time, though, right on point with a left hand to Curtis Marshall.
Yeah, that's been a big difference this half, Casey, as he's become a playmaker. I think sometimes he's hunting for his shot too much. He's looking for that step-back three, which when he's locked in, it's very pretty. He's looking for that floater game in the lane, but he became a playmaker more often this half, and that's created a lot of opportunities for Kurt Marshall.
Sports Doctor, you were listening in. What'd you hear?
Coach Sullivan just talking about take care of the basketball and working hard, and you know what? And let's just try and close this game out in the last 6.5 minutes, Casey. I was joking around with the official Roger Warner. I said, "Can you hear Troy McKelvin Sr. up in the rafters screaming at you a little bit?" And he said, "Oh, I sure can."
Yeah, foul is on Marshall, and underneath it'll be a Falcon basketball.
You know, whether he's a parent or a coach or a father, Troy McKelvin, a very passionate man. Would you not agree?
I would. I would also suggest that a parent and a father is, in fact, the same thing.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Nice look by Good. I've missed you, Sports Doctor. Nice look by Good underneath. Cuts the lead back to 10. If I can't poke fun at my Sports Doctor, then I don't want to do it. Rembert, other direction, tipped away from him, and it will be Falcons ball. Hey, I got an out-of-town scoreboard for you, a couple of good ones. Waterford with a nice win over a very good Wyndham team, 54-49. But how about this? Bacon Academy was 0-4 in Division III. Griswold was 3-0. So what do you got? 59-56 Bobcats with the win.
Big win for Coach Cupper.
Sebastian misses, goes after his own rebound, gets it after a couple of tips. Good for three, in and out. That would have been a big one to cut it to 7. Instead, Gray comes the other way. A block as Sebastian goes down hard, and Gray's going to shoot 2.
Yeah, that three went. The roof might have popped open. The crowd is waiting to get behind these Falcons with the last run here in the fourth quarter. It's not over yet. Plenty of time left.
I will say, you know, we mentioned in the open, both teams playing without important pieces. The Saints have done almost exactly what I expected them to do. If Fitch can give this effort every night, they're going to be in the conversation, you know, in the tournament. Without Francis, if they play like this, you know, I don't know how they played against NFA or how they played against Hand to lose those 2 games, but this Falcon team we're seeing here tonight is a team that should beat everybody. I mean, beating St. Bernard's is one thing, you know, maybe New London, but they're right in that conversation.
Well, they always play better when you're in the house, Casey.
Yeah, I bring the best out of Fitch. Mangual for 3, short. Coach Cornish said it, you know, never wants to play on game day ever again. No, he didn't say that, but I joked with him. I was like, hey, he goes, oh boy, New London learning how to play on game day. All 3 of their losses this year have come on game day.
And we talked about that adjustment at halftime that Coach Jones wouldn't have to make. Casey, J.J. Robinson, only 4 second-half points after he had 15 in the first half. So 5 second-half points, correct that. The 3 and the 2, that's it, 2 field goals.
Rembert inbounding for the Saints. Robinson tried to get it, but Mangual did instead. And we're getting a foul. Good. Fitch has to get a little aggressive right now.
Yep.
So, as we head down the stretch here, you know, looking at the St. Bernard schedule, we've got the rematch. This is rematch number 1, and we have another rematch. The Saints traveling to East Catholic, and that place should be completely packed and very electric. And I'm sure the Saints have circled that one from that early season loss. You know, their 2 losses this year to East and Windsor are both teams they think they can beat. In both games that they feel like they didn't give their best effort. And I know they're going to want to go up there and put together a better, complete game against East this next time around. And East has only lost once to Christ the King. So, East has been plugging along.
Yeah, ho-hum. Coach Riley, lost 2 D1 players. And, maybe East is down. Maybe you'll get them. No, not quite.
And if you look at the games in the Classic, Windsor's undefeated. They're having an unbelievable year. That game with New London, which was epic.
Mm-hmm.
Whalers have only lost 3 times this year. As Coach Cornish has done a fabulous job with them. They're playing better and better. East has only lost the 1 game, and the Saints have only lost twice. And both of the Saints' losses, they were to East and Windsor. So, those 4 teams that we had in the Classic have lost, a very few times because they're good, and we're going to see a lot of them. We're going to see New London, St. Bernard's, and St. Bernard's East, and we're going to see those matchups down the stretch. As Troy McCall, I'd say right there, he's in father mode. That's not Coach Troy, that's Father Troy right there.
Father Troy.
That's Father Troy.
Father Troy.
So I will say that right now, I'll take McKelvin, Rollins, and Nick Gray, the 3 who are here in the gym right now, the fathers of Amir Gray, Troy McKelvin Jr., and the uncle of the Marshalls. I'll take those 3, and I'll take DeMauro and Wappy. We'll take on any 5 in the gym.
So you're coaching them?
Oh, 100%. I don't even have 5 fouls. I don't even have 5 fouls in me.
Can I trade DeMauro for Sports Doctor?
Yeah, yes, you can. Yes, you can. You'll never see the basketball, though. Sports Doctor will wave off Troy McKelvin to shoot the basketball.
Never met a shot I didn't like, that's for sure. Or make, as a matter of fact.
First possession, McKelvin will wave him off. Sports Doctor will say, give me the ball, shoot it over the top.
The problem with me is you don't want me on defense, Casey. My favorite defensive set is Olay.
This is a good point. Gray underneath for the Saints, 11-point lead. Rembert for 3, short. Mangual, nice touch to Gray, draws the foul, he'll shoot 2. That's a beautiful play from Mangual with the vision to find Amir Gray.
So while you guys were playing horse in your head there, St. Bernard takes 2 long threes, but gets both offensive rebounds, and right there. So Fitch wants Tyler Grudzian to take a 25-foot 3. They got to get that rebound. If they want to get back into this game, they got to get that rebound.
I think Robinson's played well tonight, and I think Good is probably a little disappointed with he's not on, as we've seen. But the real difference is Malachi Saab. He has not gotten as many good looks as we saw him get against New London. Robinson no good. Good defense by McKelvin. Gray with a fastball to Mangual, and the lead is 15. Good step back 3, back iron. Saints are going to run. Amir Gray finishes at the rim, and the lead keeps extending, and the Fitch Falcons need a timeout. It is 17. Now, we talked about teams that are still learning how to win, right? We said New London High School has to try to figure out how to close these big games. We said Fitch needs to try to figure out how to close these big games, how to play in the 4th quarter. If there's a team that knows not only how to close, but how to put their, foot onto the opponent, it's St. Bernard's. They have not only climbed the mountain to champion, but they are finishers.
Yeah, and that's why there's no gimmick adjustment necessary. We have to do what we're supposed to do, and we have to do it consistently. That's the only way you're going to beat the East Catholics of the world, the Windsors of the world, the Notre Dame West Havens, and the Colby Cathedrals. Those teams, they have 5 options. Those teams have 5 guys that can score for the most part. You can't gimmick that. Everybody's got to be locked in. And I would say still the concern, maybe Sports Doctor will ask Coach Jones about it, the concern for me is just kind of the lapses that we still see. They're just so good that they can almost take some chances and then know, all right, 4th quarter we're going to play serious, we're going to win by 20, we're going to move on. can he live with that? Will that formula hold up, in the Division I tournament?
Well, here's the thing. They won a state championship doing it last year in Division II, because that was what we said about them last year, was they had too many of these efforts where they looked like they were kind of going through the motions and then winning when they had, turning it on at the end. And we said, are they going to be able to do that in the Division II tournament? And they did. They won a state championship. Division I's a different animal, and we'll see what happens. But, yeah, I agree that this seems to be the common sort of MO of the Saints is play as good as necessary. But at the end, this is going on now 22 straight ECC victories.
Yeah, because they're built on a foundation that is sound. Their foundation that they built this team on is sound principles. So they're going to stick together. They're going to know how to finish games. They rely on their man-to-man defense. They can run. When you give them the opportunity to run, oh man, they can score quickly. So if the other team makes a mistake, they pounce on it. Still a different animal in Division I. So, you gotta keep grinding. You gotta keep building.
Rembert drives and finishes with a left hand. Best game we've seen from Naz Rembert.
Yeah, it starts with him deciding that I don't have to shoot the ball every time I have it in my hands. Once he gets that mindset, I think he's going to be really, really tough.
Oh, what a nice move from Calvin Sebastian. Spin in the glass.
And remember, Fitch is not going to quit. Now they're in a little 1-2-2 kind of zone trap.
Oh, man, Gual and Grudgeon couldn't get it to go down. Good look, though. Turnover by Good. Rembert, dagger three. Got it! Naz Rembert makes the lead 19.
22 for Naz.
Robinson knifes to the basket. He'll shoot two.
And Robinson's still stuck on 20 points, which is amazing, When the first half, it looked like he was on his way to a 30-point game, easy. So credit to Coach Jones and the St. Bernard coaching staff. He's separated himself now, Coach Jones. He's put in the work. He inherited a program that didn't have a lot, and he's built it up. But now everybody's going to say, well, you got the players who should win, but they just keep knocking down the pins, and that's hard to do. These are high school kids. Things happen. Guys have off nights, and just to keep winning like this is pretty incredible.
Gray, nice look to Mangual. He'll shoot a pair. We're going to have to put Mike DeMoro on this because I think I know the answer to this. And while I think I know the answer, we're going to have Mike DeMoro research it. 22 straight in the ECC. When's the last time that was done? I think I know the answer, but I'll be curious to see. I don't know if it was done by the Dunn teams, but I'd go back to the 88-89 New London teams, and I don't know that they lost in those 2 years, in either 88 or 89, and they won state championships. 89 and 90, and they won state championships both years. So I don't know if they lost in the ECC at some point during that stretch. But I'll be interested to see if this 22 game straight stacks up. I know the 88-89 New London team was undefeated, and I believe the 89-90 team also. Saab for three and a foul, chance at a 4-point play. Little gas still in the tank for Saab.
Yeah, and game's not over, a lot of time. Fitch is going to keep bringing the pressure. And also you're building for the next game too. You might not get all the way over the mountain tonight, but you're building for the next game. So this little 1-2-2, going back to man, it looks like.
Rembert, three blocked by Saab. Back to Rembert it goes, and he'll take the shorter version this time.
Another offensive rebound for the Saints.
Coach James Bunicor, Jimmy just sent, no, we didn't lose. He was on those teams. He said the only loss was to Weaver at the Hartford Civic Center. So
that's your answer.
Well, I got to see how many they won in a row, but I think that's right in the mix.
Good extra pass.
Nice look, Mangual finishes. He says no loss in the ECC for 2 years. I didn't think so. So depending on when their last loss was, but I think the Saints are threatening that as they're up. This is going to be 22. Reels will go to the line. We're just outside of 2 minutes and a 19-point St. Bernard lead.
And just to refocus back on Nazrember, that was a situation where he did have the open three, and we've seen him take it many a times, but he made the extra pass, got the easier basket. Don't settle for the long percentage shot, make the easy play. Those are the kinds of championship plays that Mark Jones and the St. Bernard coaching staff need to keep hammering home to this team down the stretch.
2 minutes remaining here in the ball game. Gray backs it out. Now stutter steps, drives, and he'll draw the foul, and he'll shoot a pair. So for all you ECC historians and former players, right now the 88 to 89, 89 to 90 New London High School Whalers are on the table as the last team to have won upwards of 22 straight ECC games, which the St. Bernard Saints are about to do. When Waterford had their great teams, they had the Ledgerds and the East Limes in that mix that I think they dropped a game here and there, so they never got even in the state championships, they always had a loss in conference because of Dev Ostrowski, and so, Dev prevented the longer winning streak, but it's a great question, and I'll be interested in finding out the answer. Leads 20. Gray makes it the biggest lead here, and finally, Robinson for Fitch. Gets a little contact, knocks it down, and he'll shoot the bonus as they're going to call the foul on Ty Grudgeon, and so Robinson will shoot one.
So this will be the third straight loss for the Falcons, so they'll go back to the drawing board. But as we talked about earlier, Casey, the rest of the ECC is kind of wide open. We know St. Bernard is the hunted. They're firmly atop. New London's probably now ascended to the second spot, although Fitch did beat them pretty handily. Without Francis, Fitch is a different team, so maybe New London is the second spot. Fitch still, I think, firmly has that third spot, so they just have to figure out, how are they going to shore up this rebounding situation, because that has really hurt them tonight. They really got to kind of figure out, what is it they're going to do to try and limit teams to one shot.
Gray will draw the foul and shoot two. Looking at the rest of the conference, Coach, East Lime's had a real nice year at 8-4, but they really haven't been able to beat any of the big boys. NFA, despite that win against Fitch in their in sort of that first real ECC game without Francis, they're playing a little better. And if I had to pick a team that could knock someone off, I think NFA's in that mix. Now, you love the Woodstock roster. They're 0-3 in Division II. They're 6-7 overall, but they seem to play competitive games with these teams. Waterford and Wyndham were undefeated. Waterford knocks off Wyndham, so they're still undefeated in the division, but having seen them, I don't think they have enough. So who's the team most likely to knock off a New London or a St. Bernard's if you had to pick one?
Oh, man, that's a tough one. I guess it's still going to have to go back to Fitch, because they have these two guards, and Xavier was not himself tonight. Let's be honest. He had an off night shooting. He started kind of forcing a little bit. He's way better, and you have nights like this. That's what I'm saying. That's why it's so impressive what St. Bernard has done. That's why it's so impressive anytime any team goes undefeated, no matter what the strength of schedule is, because kids have off nights. These are kids.
Absolutely.
So I still think it's Fitch. And I think, after that, you can roll the dice. I think if East Lyme and NFA are shooting the ball well from three, they could knock off somebody. If Woodstock is able to utilize their size and not turn the ball over, they could do some damage. And you got Coach Bassett, who, I just know how to scheme and come up with a game plan that might make you have to think twice about how you play your standard game.
Charlie Giancopoulos with a couple of free throws, and then Robinson with a layup, cutting the lead a little bit.
So I don't know about ECC tournament games, but from 2007 to 2012, I do not see a regular season ECC loss from London. That's 5 seasons.
Yeah, I mean, that's the years that I alluded to earlier, where you had just a slew of great players.
Those are the Chris Dunn years.
Dunn, Torrin Childs Harris. You had
Keith Porter followed them.
Yeah, before that,
DeAndre Bruton was in there for a couple years.
Before that, you look at the end of Kareem Brown.
Yeah.
So you
Lee
got to
Mitchell.
So you got to look at that run.
Alan Cheney.
You got to look at that run, and I think that's true without ECC. But since the ECC tournament had been dubbed the Whaler Invitational by Coach Greg Parker, I got to think that might be the run in question. 3 is good. He's real. Keith Reels knocks down the triple. Jonah Eddy to the basket. Can't get it to go. Eddy with the rebound. Zips the pass. Brevin Gonzalez for 2. Off the hands of Tyler, out of bounds. Check that, off of Wagner, out of bounds, off of Nick Wagner. As the clock ticks down, it's going to be a 16-point St. Bernard's victory as they continue their domination of the ECC. We'll be back with Keith's interview with Coach Mark Jones. That interview, of course, brought to you by the law offices of Dan Horgan. And we'll talk to the coach as well as our player of the game on the other side. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com.
I came here in 1992 not knowing a soul, and I started a law practice in New London. The community has supported us ever since. Thank you. Game Day athletes, playing high school sports is going to be one of the best experiences of your life. I know you give 100% effort and you treat your teammates, your opponents, and your coaches and officials with respect. Are you doing the same in school? Are you showing up every day and giving 100% effort? Are you giving the respect to your classmates, your teachers, and your parents? Sure, winning is great, and give it your best today when you go out on that field. But never forget, getting a good education will be the best game you'll ever play in your life.
Game Day is a production of The Day Publishing Company. If you'd like to support Game Day and help us continue to bring you the best in Connecticut high school sports, please consider purchasing a print or digital subscription to The Day at theday.com/subscribe.
All that is good begins with a smile. At Waterford Dental Health, your smile is our top priority. Our entire team is dedicated to providing you with the personalized, gentle care that you deserve. Part of our commitment to serving our patients includes providing information that helps them to make more informed decisions about their oral health needs. Our website is a resource we hope you'll find both useful and interesting. Contact us today at waterforddentalhealth.com.
22 straight ECC wins for the St. Bernard Saints. The Sports Doctors got head coach Mark Jones and a happy group of Saints. Sports Doctor.
All right, Coach, 22 straight wins in the ECC. This one wasn't easy. Talk about the halftime adjustments you guys made on their guards in particular.
Well, we just started trapping them. We were getting up on the ball screens better and getting over it better. And then, we're a really good team if we don't turn it over. So we stopped turning the ball over and see what happens.
Mark, your size up front seemed to pay big dividends in the second half of this game. You guys stuck with it, tried to get some layups, and you really pounded them on both sides of the glass.
Yeah, well, our big men really aren't big men. Like, they're basically guards. They're just tall. You know what I mean? So they can get down low, but they could also play on the perimeter, too. I mean, they're two freshmen that are really special.
Yeah, Mark, this is a time of year, too, where it's high hopes, big dreams. You talk about ECC tournament coming up, state tournament coming up. How about the unselfish play of your team to a man tonight?
Yeah, I mean, everybody. Everybody chips in. They're all rooting for each other. There's no unselfish play. I mean, if somebody has a good shot, they give it up for a great shot, and I couldn't be more happy with these guys.
Well, our player of the game tonight, it could be anybody, but Kurt Marshall tonight. Kurt, 21 points. Did you feel a little bit more of a responsibility tonight to take on the role as the big man up front?
Yeah, I just felt like I was a bigger player, more physical in the paint, and they couldn't stop me in there, so I just kept going and going.
Now, they're a tough team, too. They kept coming at you. You guys missed some layups early. Did you ever get frustrated at any point in the game?
Nah, I just kept thinking positive, kept going next play, and just kept working.
Matt Rollins was in attendance here tonight, too. I mean, you think your game kind of compares to him a little bit, or could be a little better?
Yeah, that's my uncle. Yeah, so I think we play a little bit like big players, do a lot for the team. Yeah.
And this is not easy coming into Fitch and winning tonight's game, though, is it?
No, it's not. It's not. Very hard. Got their crowd. It's loud in here. Just played hard, stayed with it, and got the dub.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Saints come marching in tonight, Mark. Your team is peaking at the right time. Casey, big win here for the Saints on game day.
Thank you, Sports Doctor. 22 straight for the Saints. Their biggest test remains New London. We'll get to see what that's all about, but they also got East Catholic, which we'll have live here on Game Day. Now, we're going to switch things up a little bit for you on Monday. We're going to be broadcasting the All-Star Volleyball Classic game here, first time ever live from Mohegan Sun. So we'll get a chance to see a little bit of the ECC and SEC's best volleyball players in an All-Star Classic. And then we'll be back with some girls basketball action live at Bacon Academy, the Bacon Academy girls and the Fitch girls. And then, of course, the rematch, the St. Bernard Saints traveling to East Catholic. We might have to grab a hotel and or sleep out on the curb in order to get tickets for that one. But we're going to have that. And then we roll into what is the best and hectic time of the year, wrestling ECC championships, cheerleading championships, and then all your girls and boys basketball. So much still left on game day, but hard to believe we're past the halfway point, almost into the home stretch.
Yeah, it goes by quick. You're in December and you're thinking, oh man, I'm not going to win 5 games this year. As a coach, you're thinking that, and then all of a sudden, you find yourself in the mix. I got a chance. If we can win a couple games here, if we get hot, make a couple shots, and then the teams like St. Bernard, who came in with a game plan, they're defending Division II champions, and they got moved up, and they knew that they had to make a jump, both physically and mentally, so they prepared themselves by scheduling a lot of tough out-of-conference competition. Now they're going to face those teams that will hopefully prepare them for the Division I tournament come March.
Well, as always, the environment spectacular, the play fantastic, and for us here at Game Day, another great ECC matchup. So for Mike DeMauro, Peter Wappy, and the crew, as well as the coach, Chris Giusti, I'm Casey O'Neill. Good night, everybody.